Off they go, Goldstein, strong hands over the top of road.
Big Goldie having an outstanding year. Premier ruckman in the AFL just about now, you would say.
Goldstein is a left footer. The angle will open up. He kicks a goal. Their future perhaps waiting on that kick. And he gets a goal. Comes back to Goldstein on his right side. And he gets the goal.
Welcome back to game day. Dogs too good for the Roos last night, but a ruckman that is in all-Australian form and will be in the team is Todd Goldstein. Welcome to you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Best year of your career?
Yeah, probably in terms of impact in terms of the whole game, yeah, definitely.
Big year in your life too, another baby. We're just going to throw 3 children up. How do you go with 3 kids under 4 in your life, just managing the process?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult task, but you know, it's definitely enjoyable and it's a good distraction off field because I think you know, you get caught in the 7-day cycle of footy, and I think when you spend time with the kids, it sort of doesn't really matter whether you win or lose on the weekend. You
good on the bottle and nappies?
I wasn't, but I'm getting there. I think I've had a lot of practice now.
Good man. Back to you as a child. Now, this is a couple of shots from your basketball days. I'm told with good authority you could have played college basketball in the States.
Yeah, well, we're definitely talking to a few different colleges. My parents were getting a number of emails. I think even in my first year of AFL, they were getting a few emails from colleges. But you know, I think I'm pretty confident I was never going to make it, you know, NBA or anything like that. So I was pretty keen to try the AFL and stay in Australia because the NBL wasn't going too flash at that point.
Oh, you're going bloody well in the AFL. North versus Dogs last night, 7 wins on the bounce for the Kangaroos, came to an end. And the fast track at Etihad certainly suits the Dogs. It is a season that just keeps on giving Dogs fans, and who knows, Lee, where it ends.
Yeah, Hamish, it was a good day to be playing indoors. The rain came later, as we know, but I reckon early in the game, I mean, after Geelong losing on Friday night, these two were going to play finals, and you thought it was the Kangaroos' height probably versus the Bulldogs' speed and run. And early in the game, there was only one goal apiece scored, and the Kangaroos' height seemed to be a problem for the Bulldogs. But in the second quarter, despite the fact that Todd was doing a really good job in the hit-outs, the clearances really started to be dominated by the Bulldogs. And once they were able to run the ball away from the stoppages, then they started to score because agility and movement and mobility is their strength. Johannesson came off half-back, kicked a couple of goals. He's a great runner off that line. So even though the big forwards were okay for the Kangaroos, they still only were able to kick their 10 goals. It got close early in the final quarter, got within a kick, and then the Bulldogs kicked the last few goals to go and win by the 4 goals. A lot of players in the Bulldogs side you wouldn't have heard of much at the start of the year. Shane Biggs we just saw. So they're a much improved side, clearly. From the game, I thought this game was a bit of evidence for those who talk about the reduced interchange, because early on when players were energetic, the ball was getting stuck. 12 goals to three-quarter time. Then when it opened up, 12 goals in the last quarter. Not sure about North's 3 tall forwards, particularly Brown and Petrie. 200-centimetre players. Sometimes you think there's one too many. They were okay. Not sure if they all complement each other, those two. And Marcus Bontempelli, a young player, outstanding, but he was almost impossible to tackle. The number of times North Melbourne players just couldn't hold him in the tackle. He's a really penetrating player. He kicks the ball long, but just the thing that hit me is he was virtually untackleable, and he's a prodigy, a really good player. Ben Jacobs was doing a reasonably good job of him around the stoppages, but if it became a little bit of a forward feed defender, then Bontempelli's height. He's a big midfielder. I mean, he's a monster.
He's often third man up.
Yeah.
He jumps over the top of almost anyone.
Yeah, I think he had 4 or 5 hit-outs on the weekends. And that side, they've got so many different players that go up. It is hard to stop them. But, yeah, I think Bontempelli definitely adds another level to their game.
And what would you do with a third man up? Given the Bulldogs did it yesterday, obviously you wouldn't oppose to a bit of a rule change there, Goldie?
I'd be more than happy for him to get rid of third ups. But, no, it's part of the game at the moment. And you know, I think the Bulldogs are a really hard side, and I think the Hawks are the same. They've got so many different players that can go up. It's really hard to know who to block and where they're going to hit it. So it's that unpredictability makes it tough to counter.
How did you pull up from the game? You copped a bit of a hip pointer?
Yeah, no, all good. Just a little stinger for a couple of minutes, but you know, I'm getting used to getting knees now. It's happening every week, so it's just what happens.
They pull up a bit sore on the day after, Goldie. But
yeah, look at that. Nasty.
No concern for Friday night.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Sean Higgins come across from Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs late in the game when they looked like they had the game won. That's when the Bulldogs supporters started to really jeer him a little bit, but he kicked a few goals as he has all year.
Yeah, he's been a great addition to our side, Sean. Even off field with his leadership has been really vocal in meetings. So that's been another big game. But obviously he's really stepped up this season, and he provides a lot for us forward, and also comes through midfield. His tackling pressure and forward pressure has been probably the best in the team.
It was an unbelievable game of footy, really fast, and felt like a final. Luke Beveridge said after the match it'd be good for his young group.
There's a theory that it might help in that you get a reminder of how tough a final is going to be, but you never really know the intensity sort of difference between a game like that and a final until you get into a final. And our boys are obviously are going to be green in that regard. Did it feel like a final last night? A lot on the line?
Oh, it did. I mean, the pressure was hot. The way they pressure us was up with the best that we've had all year. So it definitely felt that in terms of that. But I think we just didn't probably execute well enough. So I think we probably brought the pressure on ourselves a bit.
The Shaver Shop, Transform Yourself focus this week is your coach. Is he angrier since he's started coaching standing up? Since he's had his operation, he's been very vocal. The results are outstanding. You've won 7, lost just last night since the operation. So he's either going to have another up before the finals or stand on something else to just take it to another level.
Yeah, I think as a club, I think probably since the Collingwood game, I think we've all sort of tightened up a bit in terms of what we're accepting. And Brad's obviously leading from the front there. And you've got to be hard on each other. We can't just accept to roll along and expect things to happen. So it's on the whole club as a group to come together and not accept these inconsistencies that are happening.
Daniel Wells, he's had a few hiccups along the way the last 2 years especially. Apparently he hurt himself again yesterday.
I haven't seen it. I think the boys are doing recovery now, so obviously we were playing at a similar time, so I haven't heard too much, but hopefully not. He's been moving really well on the track, and
his fitness is okay.
Yeah, I think this was his 3rd game back in the VFL, so I think we were all hoping to get him back hopefully next week. So I'm not exactly sure what the injury was, but hopefully it's all right.
Just when you look at your own team, you're still in the middle of this campaign, but if you're looking to improve, if you could get a Steve Motlop or a Jake Carlo, like in other words, a key position player or runner, which of that type of player do you think would complement the group the most?
It's always a hard one, and depending on whether people like someone like Michael Frito stays on and things like that. But I think it's hard to go against a Motlop who's got that real good carry and run. We've got the inside covered with Andrew Swallow, Jack Zeeble, Ben Cunnington. So another outside runner definitely does help the side. But the tall defenders don't grow on trees. So
although Robbie Tarrant's really come on this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, Robbie's been doing what we've expected him to do for a number of years now, but he just had a terrible injury run. So he's a very good marker. He was a key forward when he started. So he's a good reader of the play, good marker of the footy, and now he's starting a bit of continuity in his game. It's starting to pay off in spades.
Do you know that every time a crew member's phone goes off during a show, they give $1,000 to everyone on the panel?
should be at least that, I would have thought.
Quick hands with Todd Goldstein on the other side. Cooper Hodge, who goes one-on-one with his old man. Look, that's coming up on the other side of the break. You played every game this year. You've won 13 as a football club. You are a chance to win the Brownlow medal.
I do laugh every time that's said. It's probably something that doesn't sit naturally with me. I think, I've never really polled well, so I'm not really going in with any expectations or really even expecting to come close to it. But it is nice to have your name mentioned in that sort of category.
We're going to make a case for you here on the basis that Nat Fyfe suddenly doesn't look like he's completely over the line. The last time that a player missed 4 home and away games and won was Ian Stewart in '65. So if Nat Fyfe is vulnerable, Matt Priddis, Hanbury, Kennedy, Mitchell, Dangerfield, Goldstein keep getting mentioned. It's not a bad result. Now, I'll give you the downside. The rucks don't often poll enormously well. Scotty Wyand and Jimmy Steins obviously did, but since 2005, 20 is the most by Big Aaron, and everything else has been probably disappointing given the years. Your figures this year have been excellent. Now, we're thinking you should prepare something.
Absolutely not. No preparation will be going whatsoever.
Will you drink during the night?
I would imagine so,
Just go easy.
Unless we're playing the grand final,
That's right, yeah.
We might be playing the grand final, so I might not be able to, but
it's true.
If we're not, then I'm sure I will have some drinks.
Okay.
It's interesting, the Brownlow medal. I mean, Nath Fyfe, we've got to remember, 10 best on grounds in a row is the same as best on ground every second week. So in other words, Matt Fyfe's missed a lot of footy, but according to the external viewers, he had about 10 BOGs up to about round 11.
He'll be in front for a long time, if not at the end anyway.
Think so.
A lot of good players haven't won the Brownlow lately.
Yeah, well, the eligibility...
That's enough.
The eligibility criteria is interesting. I mean, and Hodges is a good example. I mean, I reckon these days, I mean, up until about a decade ago, unless you were deemed to do something intentionally, the player got the benefit of the doubt and got off. So I reckon unless it's regarded as intentional, that should be the fairness criteria. Anything less than intentional...
Quick hands with you. Is it true that you drive your mum's 2005 RAV4?
Well, it's technically it's mine now.
Possession.
But, yeah, possession is law. But no, it is mine. But yeah, we sort of upgraded to a Captiva when we had the kids, and yeah, the RAV just gets me to and from the club. Big thanks, obviously, to Mazda at the club.
We're just talking about you possibly could take home Charlie this year. You couldn't get a game in your year 7 or 8 football team. Yeah, no. Tall enough? Yeah, no. I was playing back pocket in the year 7Bs. And it wasn't. No, I was the tallest player in the team. I was just terrible. So they gave me not a look until I was near the end of year 8.
And is it true you declared to your old school basketball coach that at the start of the season you told him they wouldn't lose a game?
I don't remember that conversation, but it wouldn't have surprised me. I don't think we did either. So
no, it says that you didn't. No, you're right.
Yeah. On the basketball theme, we're told your pre-school coaching, you had to be dragged out of that to actually go to class.
No, fair to say I was more focused on my sport, which is maybe a mistake now. But no, it was definitely I tried to do everything I could to play as much basketball as I could.
Well done. Thanks for coming on. Good luck for the final series. Good luck for the Brownlow. Maybe the Brownlow medal winner. Isaac Smith still to come, and we uncover the next Dennis Committee. Stay with us on Down Down.